everyone, today I will tell you about the film Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Enjoy watching. The film begins with a historical background on the creation of a virus that made monkeys smarter and humans dumber. Chimpanzee Caesar united the monkeys to resist humanity and build a new world. After his death, many generations later, nature finally reclaimed its own from civilization. 3 young chimpanzees, Noah, Anaya, and Suna, climb a green skyscraper in search of eagle eggs. However, Noah is missing an egg. According to the laws of the tribe, you can't take all the eggs from the nest. So he jumps to another building, where he finds another nest. The returning bird knocks the primate down. As he falls, he barely manages to catch on, but he managed to steal the egg. Before returning home, the trio notices someone in the forest. The primates pursue the fleeing man, but find only a cape. They return home with the prey, preparing for the coming-of-age ceremony, which is what eagle eggs are for. The tribe lives by falconry. Noah's father, to whom he tells about the successfully obtained egg, holds the important post of Master of Eagles. But the human cloak inspires fear in his father. In the evening, he sends a warrior into the forest to drive away the white-skinned people. At night, when everything is quiet, the tribe sleeps peacefully. Noah notices a man hiding in the camp and drives him away. But during the skirmish, the man accidentally breaks the eagle egg. In order not to upset his father, Noah decides to get a new one before tomorrow's ceremony and leaves the settlement on horseback. Noticing something strange, Noah stumbles upon a dying warrior, killed by a tribe of raiders with electric weapons. He hides from the bandits, but they notice his horse returning home. Noah runs after him, and when he gets to the village, it is already ablaze. The invaders take his relatives prisoner. He tries to help them, but gets shocked with a taser. Taking advantage of the moment, Noah climbs up where his father releases the birds. Gorilla, the leader of the raiders, appears next. The bandit fights Noah's father and throws him off the roof. Waking up in the morning on the ashes, Noah finds his father dead. Having buried him, the primate vows to find his relatives and return home, after which he sets off on the road, taking the shocker of the invaders he found. His path lies through the tunnel where they stumbled upon a man the day before, straight into the city overgrown with jungle. Having found his mother's scarf, Noah realizes that he is on the right track. Having spent an anxious night in front of a fire in an unknown place, Noah sees his father's falcon in the morning. He tries to tame the bird, but it scratches him and flies away. Noticing a column of smoke in the distance, the chimpanzee goes to reconnoiter, but falls into a hole. He is saved from falling into the funeral pyre below by vines, in which he miraculously got entangled. Having extricated himself, Noah meets the orangutan Rocco. As befits a decent orangutan, Rocco is the keeper of books. He also tells about the teachings of Caesar, according to whose laws the monkeys still live. Noticing a fresco with people, Rocco explains to Noah that once people were the dominant species. Returning to the horse, Noah notices how some wild man is near it, stealing food. He drives him away, despite Rack's request not to do so. Then they set off together, accompanied by a soaring falcon. In the evening, at a halt, the orangutan again notices a man and throws him food, gesturing to help himself. The man turns out to be a young girl. Rocco names her Nova, according to the old monkey tradition, and gives her a blanket to keep warm. Suffering from insomnia, Noah wanders around the area. He finds a huge telescope. Looking into it, the chimpanzee is imbued with the grandeur of the universe. Then Nova comes and also looks into the eyepieces. In the morning, Noah tells Rocco that the girl has the beginnings of intelligence, just like a monkey. Taking Nova with him, the primates resume their journey. They come across a herd of zebras. Other people also come to the watering hole. Rocco wants to stay with Nova among people, and Noah continues his journey alone. But before they have time to split up, raiders led by Gorilla Silva appear. They hunt people, driving them into nets and traps, which Noah and Rocco watch from the side. Nova almost gets caught in the net, but escapes. Gorilla Silva pursues the girl. He and his accomplices chase her into a field of tall grass, to the other edge of which Noah rides out on horseback. Noticing him, Nova stands up to her full height and calls the chimpanzee. Silva and Noah race towards the fleeing girl. Noah grabs her first with a blow of his paw, knocking down the clinging gorilla. They are pursued by a horseman raider, but the appearance of a crayfish with a club frees the fugitives from their pursuers. Having broken away and released the horses, Noah tells the orangutan that the girl can talk. He does not believe it, but Nova turns to the monkeys and says that her name is May. She says that she comes from a human settlement, where there are plenty of those who have not become dumb from the virus and have retained the gift of speech. May was silent, so as not to stand out, fearing the wrath of the monkeys. Noah does not trust her, but overcomes his hostility by sharing a blanket. The chimpanzee also manages to repair the trophy shocker. In the morning, the travelers come to a wooden bridge over the river. Climbing across it, they fall into the trap of Silva's raiders. Fighting off the monkeys, May falls into the river, but the crayfish saves her. He himself does not have time to get out when the gorilla cuts the rope. The turbulent current carries the orangutan scientist away. The raiders lead the captives Noah and May along the ocean shore past the rotting islands of giant ships. Inside one such ship thrown ashore is the border of the monkey settlement. In it, the captive monkeys are working to strengthen the coastal embankment, protecting the settlement from the sea waves. Noah notices a huge gate to some underground bunker, and also meets Suna and the rest of his relatives, including his mother. Silva takes May away to lock her in a separate room. Looking around, the girl notices many relics of human civilization, including books. Suddenly, the lame Treviton, the only other human still intelligent and able to speak, appears. He serves as an advisor to the local king, Proximus Caesar, causing May to believe him to be a traitor. The people peer through a hole in the wall into the courtyard. Out comes Proximus, king of the bonobos, a species of pygmy chimpanzee. He gives a rousing speech about Caesar's legacy, expressing the mathematical wisdom that apes are stronger together. The king then gives the go-ahead to attempt to break down the gate to the bunker, but the combined strength of the apes' horses is not enough, even after detonating explosives. After the failure, Proximus invites newcomers May and Noah to dinner to explain what he wants. In his opinion, the underground bunker contains the legacy of human wisdom, which will teach the monkeys technological progress. This will allow the monkeys to finally consolidate their status as the dominant species, getting rid of the threat from people. The king suspects that May knows how to open the entrance. According to the furry intelligence, she was purposefully moving towards the underground storage using the map. Noah understands that the girl is not as simple as she seemed, and that he was right not to trust her, but the king's attempt to lure him to his side also fails. The chimpanzee has already realized that most of Proximus's subjects are just slaves, including Anaya, who serves at dinner, but the king does not insist on swearing allegiance right now. When Noah later reflects on what happened on the pier, his father's falcon, who has been accompanying him all the way, flies up to him. The bird sits on his paw as proof of submission. Remembering the promise given on his father's grave to return his fellow tribesmen home, Noah decides to team up with May. But first, he needs to find out her true motives. In a private conversation, the girl admits that there is a book in the vault that can return people's speech. But Noah does not really believe in this, but agrees to help her open the doors. Using May's knowledge and Suna's support, Noah begins to implement his plan. They take the explosives prepared by the girl. When they notice Anaya, the king's waiter offers his help. They mine the protective coastal rampart, and Treviton catches them doing this. The old man tries to dissuade the girl from her plan, but she, fearing that he will give them up, attacks him and strangles him to death, and throws his body into the ocean. Then they walk along a narrow strip of coastal rocks to a secret entrance. It is located at the top, so the chimpanzee has to climb the rocks, dragging May, who is not adapted to such movements. At the top, the conspirators find a platform with a ventilation shaft. Having climbed through it into the underground storage, the primates and the girl go down the stairs. Having turned on the power supply, which has not broken down over the years without maintenance, they examine the dungeon. May finds a control panel with a weapon room and pulls out some kind of hard drive. At this time, the chimpanzees examine the school office, where they find a children's picture book. There, people are depicted as the dominant species, and monkeys are kept in cages in zoos. Surprised by what they see, they nevertheless follow May when she suggests leaving. The path runs past a hangar with military equipment, mothballed until better times. May starts the opening of the gate from inside. Along with the sun's rays, King Proximus, with a retinue of gorillas, is already waiting for them outside. The king praises Noah for his work and even invites his entire tribe to share in the triumph. But at the same time, he demands that he immediately decide whose side he is on, with them or with the humans. To stimulate his brain, Proximus orders Suna to be taken hostage, and his henchman threatens her with a knife. While Noah hesitates to answer, a shot rings out. May thoughtfully grabbed a revolver from the armory, with which she shot the primate holding Suna hostage. However, Proximus is pleased with the result. He lets May go, realizing that the storage facility is full of such weapons. But the girl also understands that it is dangerous to leave the equipment to primates. She runs to the detonator of the explosives prudently planted at night and activates it. The protective wall disappears in clouds of smoke. And when it dissipates, it becomes visible how the ocean seeps through the gap, expanding it with pressure. Standing on a hill, May watches as the torrent of water drives the monkeys into the bunker. The ocean gradually floods the storage facility, forcing the primates to climb higher and higher ladders to the ventilation hood at the top, showing their fellow tribesmen the way to the exit, but also collides with Silva. The gorilla decides that now is the best time to finish off the annoying upstart once and for all. A chase through the passages ends with both falling into the water, where the warlord continues to pursue the chimpanzee. Taking advantage of the difference in size, Noah lures the gorilla into a trap, a narrow place from which he cannot escape. He stands above the enemy, watching as he drowns in the rising water. Having climbed out through the ventilation hole, Noah meets his relatives. But then Proximus attacks him. The king beats the chimpanzee, demonstrating his power to the others. However, instead of begging for mercy, the wounded Noah begins to make strange sing-song sounds. The rest of his tribesmen follow suit. Proximus does not understand that they are thus calling upon the birds of prey hovering above them. It is not for nothing that the tribe has been engaged in falconry for many years. The falcons attack the king, pushing him off the cliff into the foaming surf. Returning home, the tribe restores the settlement. One day, Noah notices May in the distance. She came to say goodbye, although the champagne no longer trusts her, as well as the rest of the people who dream of dominating the world, as it was before. However, she does not trust him too much either, and keeps a revolver behind her back just in case. Nevertheless, as a farewell, Noah gives May a medallion of Rocky, who believed in the ideals of Caesar and the peaceful coexistence of people and monkeys. Noah and Suna go to look through the telescope. At this time, May returns to a certain military bunker, which is under quarantine. She gives the messenger a hard drive pulled out of the underground storage. It turns out to be an encryption key for space satellites. Thanks to it, the base of people who have not lost their intelligence around the world can again establish communication and coordinate their actions. This is where the film ends, unlike the confrontation between people and monkeys, which reaches a new level.